Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. I'm Rick Ripma, your hardworking mortgage guy, and I've been in real estate and mortgages for over 34 years. I've helped over 5,300 folks finance their homes. My team and I believe in custom tailored loans, not the one size fits all approach. We believe there is a right mortgage for you, and we believe we are the team to deliver it.
And I'm Ian Arnold, part of Rick's hardworking mortgage team. I've been in the financial industry for 15 years, helping customers rebuild their credit, get the best possible interest rate. And I have a passion in helping you secure your overall real estate dreams and even hopefully paying off your home even faster.
And for any mortgage information, questions, or real estate in Indiana, you have any questions, please go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. Or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And today we're really excited to have, it's Christie Snapp.
Yes.
And you're with?
At Properties.
At Properties.
Golden Collective is my team.
All right, perfect. Yep. And where are you out of? Where is that located?
So we are located in Broad Ripple. My team works out of the Broad Ripple office, but we also have some downtown offices and various offices around town. So
yep. And you go everywhere probably in the Indianapolis area.
Exactly.
Yeah. Broad Ripple's a great place to be.
Love Broad Ripple. Yeah. It's so fun. Our office is right on the Monon, so we are always walking to lunch. And
that's awesome.
Meeting clients there, so it's really fun.
Yeah. So what did you do before real estate? Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
Yeah, so I grew up in Bloomington, so that was really fun. Ended up going to IU for a little bit, but then I just had to get out of my hometown, so I actually transferred to Purdue, which I get some crap for from people, but I just had to get out of there for a little bit. So graduated from Purdue and moved to Indianapolis after that.
Awesome. And what did you major in at Purdue?
I majored in communications and PR. So I actually did, when I first moved to Indy, I worked for a local small family-run PR firm for a couple months, and this was in 2008, so not a great time for new employees. So I got laid off pretty quickly after I got hired, and then found myself in real estate.
So you started in real estate young.
Yeah, I was early 20s.
Okay. And because you got laid off, you moved, or was it something you were interested in and it just was the opportunity for you?
Yeah, kind of both. My parents have always invested in real estate, so I sort of grew up around it. And then when I got laid off from the PR firm, it was just kind of something I thought I'd be good at and looked into it further. I also worked in between getting my license and the PR job, I worked for a local real estate investor for a little bit, just sort of lead generation, office manager type position. So that also sort of got the bug in my ear and got my license while I was working for him, and then said, I need to go work on my own.
Yeah. It's funny because that seems like not a reasonably common path. It's not working for an investor, doing a rental property or, and then somehow during that, a lot of people end up also being real estate agents and then go full time. So it's a tough business to get started in. And you said, okay, it's the economy's doing terrible. I just got laid off. Everything's falling apart in the housing industry. I think I want to be a real estate agent. How did you get going? Because that was a tough time to get going.
Yeah, I sort of caught the tail end of the recession, I think, middle of 2008. Well, actually, moved here in 2008, so this was probably 2009, 2010. So the market was really starting to go upwards when I first got in the industry. So honestly, I just jumped right in. I didn't really think about what's the market doing right now. I just thought I'd be good at it, and I jumped right in and met my current business partner the first year I was licensed, and we hit it off right away and created a team, and it was kind of the rest is history from there.
So what was the process? Like, how did you get your clients, and how did you get your first client? What did you do?
My very first client was from an open house. So as a brand new agent, open houses, I would say, is one of the best ways to meet active buyers that are out there in the market. And it's a numbers game. You're going to get a lot of people in that already have agents or whatnot, but it is a really good way to get yourself out there as a new agent. So that's what I did. And I met someone at one of my very first open houses, and he ended up being my first sale.
Awesome.
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
that's a common thread also. And I bring it out because I think it's important that newer agents younger agents, or not really younger, just newer.
Yeah.
Somebody new, they need to know what to do. And open houses seems to be very consistent, and that's a great way to go meet somebody.
Yeah, and if you do them consistently in the same areas, you're going to start seeing the same faces pop in. And if you make a connection with a buyer that walks in and maybe you see them the next week, then that's really how you're going to start building relationships with people you don't already know.
Yeah. So what's your process for an open house?
Always get it online, of course. It's in the BLC and we promote it. I have various apps that I make, like, Canva things, and post it on social media. In the past, we have also invited the neighbors around for like a preview before the open house starts.
Okay.
So we'll do some mailbox stuffing, like flyers, and invite the neighbors to get them through as well. And again, just social media is huge for me and my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how early how much ahead of time do you stuff the mailboxes?
Oh, probably a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you have to do that. You can't do it the day of. You
Correct.
got to do it
Right.
a little ahead of time.
Yep.
But it makes, to me, it's a brilliant strategy. I would go to door knocking just because I don't mind that.
Right.
But not for everybody. Right. And also, I'm 6'4" guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
People knocking on doors isn't as common anymore. I know I'm not answering the door if I'm home.
Exactly. Yeah. So. Exactly. Yeah. But I feel comfortable with that. But also, walking around the neighborhood, putting those things in the box works. I mean, obviously social media works, and then you get them there. But a lot of them might be able to pick their home. Their neighbors. They want certain people. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. They say, "Oh, I have this in mind for a friend." If they want a family member to live nearby, that's a great way to get the neighbors through it, so they can start sharing. Yeah. Just passing the word along too. Yeah. So use the neighbors as.
And who isn't curious?
Oh my gosh, everyone's nosy neighbors these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've lived in my neighborhood for 33 years.
Okay.
And I've only been in maybe 3 of the houses.
Oh, really?
And never, only one of the other houses have I been upstairs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right?
Well, I've been in all of my neighbors' houses. That might be the realtor in me, but yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah, so it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, you just walk over and it's like, "Hey, how's it going? All right, let's go check your upstairs."
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who are you?
I just say, like, I'm a realtor, I'm nosy. You get and that most of them are comfortable with it. So.
Yeah.
So you said you have you work for Compass, but you have your own team. What's
with properties?
With that property? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
It's all right.
So what was the
Golden Collective.
All right. So how did that come? How did that name come around, and how did you get your own team?
So, as I mentioned earlier, I met my business partner when I first got in the industry, and she had been in the business a couple years prior. So we just hit it off. Our strengths are very opposite, so it worked really well. So our team name for the longest time was Indie Scene Team. And this past year, we were looking into getting a new logo done and just sort of some rebrand. And one day it just popped into my head. I said, what if we change the whole name? If we're doing a rebrand anyway, let's go big and just get a whole new identity, because I just felt like our team was just getting a little stale and I just wanted a refresh. So we just sort of brainstormed names from there, and Golden Collective was just the front runner for my whole team. And then we hired a marketing company to do the logo, and brand voice, and all that stuff for us. So,
yeah, I think it's smart to not name it after. Don't take an offense to this, but to other people out there, not after yourself as your name, because you can make it last longer than you.
Exactly, it's something you can sell down the road potentially. But that's exactly what my business partner and I didn't want to do, especially because there's 2 of us. Usually, you have one team leader. And then they start hiring out from there. But she and I were very much business partners. Mm-hmm. So we didn't want to name it after one or both of us. And that's exactly what we did. So
that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So are you guys still growing, or how are you guys looking at your team wise?
Yeah, we have 3 agents that work with us currently. And we've had several buyer's agents, if you will, come and go over the years. But we have a really solid team right now. We would love to grow eventually. But we've learned from past firing situations that we kind of hired too fast and fired too slow sort of situation. So we really want to make sure that whoever comes to work with us is a good fit for everybody. So we're doing it a little slower moving forward. But we have a really solid team right now.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So when you're looking at hiring them, so we all learn lessons. So what type of person or characteristics do you look for when you're trying to hire somebody?
Well, we would love someone with a little bit of experience because we've hired brand new agents that literally just got their license, and that's totally fine. But they can tell you what they think that you want to hear as far as what like they're willing to do. And then a few months in, you realize they're not willing to send the mailers out. They think they're bothering people or whatever the case is. So it's really hard to know what kind of agent they're going to be. If they're brand new, if they have a little bit of a history, we can kind of see a track record there. But we just want someone who's like a hustler. They're hungry. They want to work. They're not. They're open to our suggestions as to where and how to get business. Just teachable, that kind of thing. So, and it's just a team player.
Well, it is incredibly important if you're brand new or fairly new that you listen to the people who actually know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I had an agent on last week that I was talking with, and he likes to hire brand new people.
Yeah.
Just difference in personalities,
Yeah.
right? And what he likes. And he and I were talking, and I've hired brand new people to be in mortgage, and I've hired experienced people. And the hardest ones are the ones who think they know everything and they don't know anything.
Right.
You know, I've closed 5,300 loans and they've closed none.
Yeah.
And they want to tell, so they want to tell you what to do, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. You've closed all these houses, you've done all this. It's like you need somebody who will listen. And the value of having top mentors, people who know what they're doing,
100%.
is one of the things we see as a game changer for somebody being able to get to the top of being, top level guru level of real estate.
100%. Yeah, I tell newer agents all the time, find a team. If you don't want to be on a team, find a good broker who's going to mentor you, someone you can go to when you're writing your first contract to look over it for you, and all of that kind of stuff. Being on a team and being around other people that can guide you and help you through your transactions and all that stuff, I think that's invaluable.
Yes, we can tell that from everybody we've had on. It's amazing how you start to see consistencies, and this is what you need to do. This works, and everybody has their own thing, right? It's not that and there's a lot of differences, but there are some very consistent, that what I would consider kind of rules that you kind of need to follow.
Sure.
To be successful.
And there's so many variables out there too to make a successful career.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And some of it's you got to find the great team. You got it with great mentors to get you to that place. We've had people who've been on who for 6 months they floundered, 8 months they floundered, a year they floundered. They thought about getting out. Then they ended up in the right team with the right mentors.
Yes, that can make all the difference.
Their business exploded.
Yes.
But if somebody is looking to buy or sell, and how are they getting in touch with you?
So the quickest way I would say is to text me at 317-902-2989. Again, that's 317-902-2989. You can text me anytime. That's the quickest way. Or you can find me on Instagram. I'm pretty heavy on Instagram right now. My handle is at Snapp Sells Real Estate, and that's Snapp with 2 P's.
So SNAPP.
Correct.
So I can't spell, so I always want to double check, make sure that it's okay.
Yeah.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com, or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And thank you for listening to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. The gurus we interview share valuable insights. They reveal their strengths, personalities, and how they'll work for you. Well, we hardworking mortgage guys secure your best mortgage. Real estate gurus work hard too. They avoid problems the amateurs don't see. They listen and they find unrealized opportunities. If you're buying or selling a home, a real estate guru is a valuable asset. If you're even thinking of buying or selling a home, keep listening and please call one of Indy's real estate gurus.
All right, Christy, so we're going to take a little side step.
Okay.
Let's find out more about you. So if I got to take your phone away, you cannot work for 24 hours and you're about to have a heart attack.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
And she can't call the hospital.
Just hearing that.
What do we catch you doing for fun?
So I play golf with a women's league in my neighborhood once a week. So that is really fun. I'm getting a little bit more into that. Let's see, I am pretty much a homebody when I'm not working. I like to just chill at home with my family and go to movies, and we're at the pool in the summer a lot. So just a pretty chill life, I would say.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well, you
think
need that when you're busy.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, and I'm an introvert, so I get recharged by, just relaxing and being around just my family and, not overstimulated and like
Yes.
a bunch of people. Yeah.
It's interesting that people think that a salesperson, somebody, and I don't necessarily consider it sales so much. It's more you're taking care of customers. With the change in the environment where people can look most things up, they just
Yes.
need somebody who's a really good teacher guide to
Yeah.
walk them through the process. But people think of us that way, and they think all of us are extroverts.
Yeah.
But many of us are not.
Yeah. People think that introvert extrovert is, either shy or outgoing.
Right.
But the definition really is how you get energized and recharged. So extroverts get their energy from, being in the room of networking, individuals and like being out and face to face. And the introverts like me, I get recharged by reading a book at home by myself and like being at the pool with my family. So yeah.
now there'll be times I'll come home from work or whatnot, and my wife's like, "You haven't talked very much." I have nothing to say right now. I've talked enough today.
Yeah.
Just let me be me. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said you got into golf. So do you just play the same course, or what's your favorite course around Indy?
So yes, we have a 9-hole golf course in my neighborhood. It's just a private course, so it's really laid back, chill. You don't have to have a tee time. We can just roll up on our golf cart and hit a few balls whenever we feel like it. So I'm really lucky to be a newbie at golf, to be able to just kind of go and like hit around if I want to. So the only other course I've ever played, I believe, is Broadmoor. But I'm pretty much just at my course.
Well, if you can roll up at any time,
Right.
that's the place to go.
Yeah, I think a full 18 on another course might intimidate me at this point, but
It's definitely a good place to learn
yeah,
because you can practice.
100%. And the women's league, that we don't take it too seriously, so it's fun, and golf could be. If you play golf, you know how frustrating / amazing it can be.
Wait till she starts getting good after a couple of years. She'll be like, "No, now we're taking it competitive. Let's go."
I'm not a golfer. I used to play a little bit, and I never saw the fun part of it.
Yeah, yes, it's very frustrating, but the one good hit you get, it's like keeps you going.
Yeah. That's the problem. You have to have one good hit a game, right?
Yeah.
One good a game. So, what would you say your superpower or superpowers are?
Superpower. I would say I'm really good at adapting with the market and really knowing what like the current market conditions calls for in order for my clients to succeed. So writing a really good purchase agreement, knowing what the current market calls for a competitive offer. The offers I'm writing today look very different than the offers I wrote when I first got in the industry. And just really walking my clients through that and so they know what to expect. So that's one thing I would say is one of my strengths.
Yeah. And that's really important.
Yes.
Because you've seen a lot of markets, so you've got the knowledge and understanding and experience to know how to write the offer for the times that we're in.
Right. Yeah.
I read or heard that I guess 50% of the offers are now over list price, and the average sale price now is over list.
Yes. Yeah. It's a tough market for buyers, but if you can walk them through what's going on currently, and so they know what to expect. Like if you show them a house and they're not thinking that they need to offer over asking, if I don't tell them that up front, so they know, hey, just be prepared. We're going to be competing against other buyers right now. You're going to have to come with your A game right out the gate. So
yeah, you can't come in and say I'm going to offer 10,000 under, and then hope they come back and say, no, you got to give us your
right. Then you're
best
just wasting your client's time. You're wasting everyone's time. So I'm just really honest and upfront with the clients as to what they're going to have to do to get a house right now, and they can be okay with that or not. But I just want them to know.
Yeah.
what to expect.
Yeah, I like to watch. It's called Escape to the Country, and it's in England, and they take people that they're taking people out. They're very much like our homes, but I like to see what England looks like, so I watch it. But the thing that I thought was interesting is they, not always, but they when they price the home, we're taking offers above.
Oh, they
Okay.
just say right up front what their bottom line
Yes,
is, and
yeah.
you need to come in at higher.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Wow.
In
That's
our
really
market,
interesting.
we've never had to do that, but now it kind of makes sense to price your house at
Right.
taking offers above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you price it right on the dot, I try and price my listings right where they should be market value wise, compared with, looking into the comparative sales in their neighborhood, and knowing that that's probably going to position them the best way to get a bidding war going and get above.
Now, why is that so important?
Well, you mean pricing right at the market value?
Not overpricing.
Not overpricing.
Or just pricing correctly. I think that I understand why it is.
Right.
Okay. But I think it makes sense to have somebody who knows what they're doing. They're expert at it, that's done it a long time, kind of give people a reason. Because a lot of people, you probably run into these people who think that they're selling for over, I'm going to price my house way up.
Right.
And that really hurts them right now.
Yes, 100%. So obviously pricing under doesn't make sense. You're going to leave some money on the table. Pricing over and just seeing what you can get, there's those sellers that just want to price as high as they possibly can and just throw it out there and see if any buyers come. Well, the buyers that are in the market for their home that would match that home right now are going to look at that and think that they're asking way too much. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not even going to bother going to see it. So they're losing out when you first hit the market. They're losing out on all these buyers that are currently looking that really would be a good fit at the right price. So you waste all that time, then you're reducing it. That comes with the stigma. Buyers are now going to look at it and say, why has it been on the market for so long? And all that kind of stuff. So you really want to capture the right buyers when you first hit the market.
And so long right now is what? Not very long, right?
Right. Yeah. I think, I don't know what the average days on market is right now. I think it went up a little bit, but you should be under 30 days for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Couple weeks maybe. Last year it was 3 days. It's a little bit longer with interest rates now, but yeah, it's pretty quick.
It's very quick, and it's like, okay, if 30 days, maybe, I don't know if people are okay, but if your house is sitting on there 45 days, I just know from my personal, I would be going, okay, so what's wrong with this house?
Right, exactly. That's the first thought that buyers think of when they see a house that's been on the market for, over 45 days.
And I have found the hardest thing to overcome is something that somebody built up in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Accurate or inaccurate, it doesn't matter, because it's hard to uncover.
Yes.
And then it's hard to help them see the
real value.
Yes.
Yes, 100%.
So it makes a lot of sense to do that.
Yeah.
Price it correctly.
Yeah. So when you list a home, do you try to stage it? How do you take your photos? Are they professionally done?
Yep. We always do professional photos. If we do professional videos as well. And I do a lot of just candid on my Instagram and other social media platforms. I do a lot of pre-market just walkthroughs and more candid stuff as well. So yeah, we want as much reach as we can. We obviously post it and syndicate it to all the home buyer websites and things like that. We also do AdWorks. We do ads on Facebook and all that stuff too. So as soon as it gets listed, all that's ready to go to get pushed out.
Yeah. How important is social media today for marketing the house?
I think you can't do without it, in my opinion. Most buyers, the last stat I read was 98% of buyers start their home search online, and especially social media. So that's where they're scrolling. They're just sitting there looking on their Facebook and Instagram and TikToks and whatnot. So that's where you got to be. You got to be where the buyers are. So
no, I agree. Internet has changed. No matter what cells you're in, what thing you're getting rid of, just because, even if you go car shopping, you're looking at online before you ever walk to a dealership. Yeah. If you want to buy a computer, you're looking online before you ever walk in, even if you walk into a store.
Right. You're Googling and researching first. Yeah. So yeah, you have to be online.
Yeah. And it's it's nice when people understand that, because if you didn't, then you're still going door to door, which, as we've talked earlier, is
Yeah,
I
no,
barely,
that's
I
too
barely,
much.
I don't like opening my door when
Yeah.
somebody's knocking on it. I don't know.
Yeah, door knocking's not personally my style. It works for some people still, but yeah, not my thing.
So, what would you say is the main reason you think you've seen a lot of people fail in real estate? Because I know, what is it? This person is like 90% in the first 5 years, and you've been in
Oh,
the
you mean
industry.
other realtors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read a stat last week. I think we have currently around 9,500 agents in our board, and we looked at numbers 10 years ago. There was, I think, 6,000 10 years ago, and now we're almost at 10,000. So, yeah, I think in this market, the people who are going to not quit and stick it out are going to be the ones to come out on the other side of this market that we're in. It is a super tough market. Now I forgot the question.
No. Yeah, just because you've been around a long time. So, what do you think one of the main reasons that a lot of people fail is?
Fail. I think that people are afraid that they're bothering people, and they are. We used to say, "Don't be a secret agent." So shout it from the rooftops that you're in this new industry if you are newer, and get face to face with your sphere. That's one thing I wish I would have done a lot sooner in my career. I did some networking events and stuff like that, but getting face to face, setting up, stacking your schedule with coffees and lunches with just people you know, and it doesn't even have to be a sales meeting per se. Just building relationships right off the bat with everyone you know in your sphere is, I think, going to be key for long-term success down the road when you get the ball rolling with buying and selling houses.
Yep. And I don't want you to be a secret agent. So, what's the easiest way somebody get in contact with you?
So you can text me is the fastest at 317-902-2989. And I'm also on Instagram a lot at Snapp Sells Real Estate, Snapp with 2 P's. You can text or call me at my number or get a hold of me on Instagram.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com, or you can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938.
All right, and now we'll get into the question of the week. And the question of the week is sponsored by Ian and Rick, the Hardworking Mortgage Guys, where we believe in helping and supporting you and your realtor by sending constant updates through the loan process. We don't like living in a black hole, so we do not allow you to live one. All right, so here's a tough question.
Oh, gosh.
Ready?
Yeah.
What was your first car?
My first car, it was a Honda Accord, and I don't remember the year it was, but it was it was a turquoise, iridescent
I remember that.
color.
Yep, I remember that color.
Yeah, that was my first car in high school. So
how long did it last?
It lasted a few years. My brother actually wrecked it for me, so I was without a car for a little while, and I was really mad about that. But yeah.
Daggone brothers.
I know.
Did he have to buy you a new one, or?
No.
Oh.
It was no. My parents didn't make him buy me.
Oh, darn your parents!
I know.
So, what was it like growing up in Bloomington?
It was really fun. It was, small town, but still a college town. So being on a college campus was really cool. The campus there is so pretty. And yeah, it was just, quaint small town growing up. So
yeah. All my boys went to IU.
Okay.
And my brother went there years ago. Of course, he's my older brother. So, and he didn't leave for like 20 years. He loved Bloomington.
Yeah, Bloomington's a great town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, just like you said. It's a beautiful place. I just wondered because it's different when you are in a town that has a big university that just has such an influx of people through most of the year.
It's very diverse, and it was fun growing up there.
And a lot of opportunity, a lot of things you can go do that you wouldn't have in a small town, but you have because of the university.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So when you transferred to Purdue, did you actually say you were from Bloomington, or you just say, I'm from Indiana?
No, I always said I was from Bloomington. I was upfront about it. Well, of course, the people at Purdue loved it.
Yeah, we think so.
I transferred from the enemy.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So, what would you say the value is for somebody, the first-time home buyer, to buy a home how does it improve their life? What does it do for them?
Yeah, I would say the number one thing is equity. You have an asset in your possession that will over time grow in equity. They say buy real estate and wait instead of the opposite. So I think it's huge for wealth building in general. There was a stat that I think people that own a home are a certain amount wealthier.
$500,000 is that stat.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah. So just like for generational wealth building,
right?
You need to own property. Just you need to.
Yeah. It's you just need to.
Yeah, I own 3 rentals currently, and I mentioned before that my parents own rentals in Bloomington because college town. It was perfect area to have rental property, so I sort of grew up around that. And then I actually, when I moved to Indianapolis, the first house I bought was actually a rental property. I bought a rental before I actually bought a home myself. So yeah, I'm an advocate of owning real estate for, wealth building purposes.
Well, I heard I don't remember who it was. I wish I could give them credit for it, but it's somebody who's obviously in real estate, and they said buy your first home, live there 2 years, rent it out, buy the next home, live there 2 years, buy another home, rent it out.
Rinse and repeat.
Yes, rent and repeat.
Yeah.
And they said, and I don't think that's accurate. I don't think this number is accurate here, but they said in 10 years you'll be a millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's probably not accurate here, but it is amazing. I guess it's my niece and nephew. They bought a house, and probably 2 years ago, $200,000 house. It's gone up $135,000.
Absolutely nuts. Yeah, I was showing a house the other day to a buyer, and they were like, they bought this house, 2 years ago for $100,000 less. Like, why are they asking? Like, what did they do to the house? I was like, that's just the market.
Right.
Like, they didn't have to do anything. The market, the demand is there. The market's, that's just what it dictates. So.
And that is the value of buying real estate.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the value of that. So let's get into this because your family did a lot of investments. You do some investments. What is the value of having an investment property? So somebody's out there and they're in their starter home and they're like, I need to move up. Why should they rent that starter home out instead of selling it?
Well, if they can rent, and you have to do the numbers in the mortgage before you buy. So you have a mortgage on the property, and the rent is, let's say, $400 or $500 more than that rent, more than that mortgage. The renter is paying your mortgage for you plus some. So over time, you're going to eventually pay off that mortgage, hopefully, and your renters will pay off that mortgage, and then you'll have an asset there sitting there that you can either sell if you need the equity out of it, or hold on to. My plan for mine is that's going to be part of my retirement. Once the mortgages are paid off, I hope to take the equity out of the current houses to then buy more, and then keep building that for my retirement. So
yeah, and it's important for people to know that if to do that, you may need money for down payment on the next house, right?
Correct.
So what you do is you have to finance the current home to get some cash out, and you need to do that ahead of time while it's still a primary residence.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
That's something that's really important. So if you have a house and you're thinking, okay, that sounds like a good idea, and it doesn't mean you have to put a first mortgage on it, depending on what your rates are and how much money you're going to get out, that kind of thing. You may want to put a home equity line of credit. There may be other things, but you do it while it's a primary residence.
Right.
And before you go, you want to list it. You want to do this ahead of time if it's something you think you want to do. You should meet with the real estate agent first and talk about it, see if it makes sense. And you should meet with somebody like you who knows rental property.
Right, because you got to know what the market rent is too.
Yes.
You need to know what you can realistically rent it for, and know that that's going to be more than your mortgage payment.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of numbers to look at before you jump in, and a lot. Especially in the market now, there's not a ton of quote unquote deals to be had, so they're harder to find now. But you don't want to just buy one to buy one. You want to make sure that the numbers work and make sense.
And there are more people buying rental property, it seems like to me.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Yeah, it just seems like it. So it seems like it's a harder thing to do, but that doesn't take away the value.
Right.
The value still
Oh, the
can
value
be,
is
still be there.
100% there. Yeah.
So I just think it's a good thing. On the other side, I kind of hate to even bring it up because we need inventory.
Oh my gosh, so bad.
So
This stat blew my mind the other day. We were looking at 10 years ago versus today, and then year over year. 10 years ago, we had 13,000 active listings on the market, and today we have closer to 3,000.
yes, unbelievable.
It's absolutely insane.
Yes.
Yes.
And you have more buyers. I mean, there's just the
Way
volume
more
of
buyers. Yep.
people looking. So what is something you're really uh, excited about or you're proud of in your business today?
I would say my team. Again, I mentioned earlier we have a really solid team right now, and we've gone through a lot of team members, and I am really proud of the team that we've built and the team members, being a resource for them, being their team leader. I'm really trying to lean into that, and the goal is to add more team members that I can help mentor as well and get their business built up. And I will still always sell, but I can maybe hustle a little bit less and focus on building my team's business. So, and my business partner and I have worked together since 2011, and I think that isn't seen a lot. We've stuck it out, and it just works. So
Yeah.
having a business partner I 100% trust, and we bounce ideas off of each other. Our strengths are opposite, so it fits. And
So what are her strengths?
she is a master networker, I would say. If she joins, I don't know, a club or a networking group, and she has a kid too. So if she's like, she took her kid to swim lessons and sold somebody a house. So she really dials that in, and she's just real personable. And I'm more the sort of creative, like marketing side of things. And yeah.
So that's another part of your superpowers, your marketing.
Yeah.
Which you went to school for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which helps
Communications,
a lot.
PR, marketing, all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I am using my degree after all. A little bit.
I'll bet it all helps.
Yeah.
Everything you've learned. Most people, when they look back, certainly for me, you look back at your life and you go, oh, because of that, I did better at this, and because of that, I did better at this, and it does enhance your life.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get better.
Things happen for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask one of my favorite questions.
Okay.
And since you've been in the industry a lot, you probably have tons of them.
Okay.
What's one of your most favorite memories of selling real estate?
Oh man, the one thing that popped into my mind was getting to sell a condo. There's residences at the Conrad. So it was one of my first, high-end luxury deals, and getting to see that building and the amenities that comes with. They basically live in a hotel, was really, really cool. And it's, as far as I know, the only building in Indianapolis with a doorman. So that was a really cool experience. And it was funny when we were negotiating on the price. Typically you do it all on paper, email, back and forth, counter offers, whatever. And this was very much like they do in the shows. Like, I was sitting at lunch with my clients. We talked about the offer. I stepped outside, called the listing agent. He, went to his client and was calling back and forth. So it was really bizarre that it happened verbally first, and then we put it down on paper. So that was.
Did you like it that way?
Yeah, it made it a little faster.
I would think so.
Yeah, you didn't have to wait for the email and the signature and the counter
So
offer.
why do you think it happened that way?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Just happened.
Yeah, it just happened that way. The other agent and I knew each other, and we just talked back and forth. And I think both clients just wanted to get something negotiated. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Yep. See what she just said? Everything on TV is exactly correct.
I did not say that.
She's the first agent on here to say that. Everybody else says it's all fake.
Yeah. Everything works just like it does on TV.
Just like TV.
Yes.
Stilettos and all.
Yeah, it is funny to watch some of those, and it's funny, but it's kind of sad because people watch it and they think that's what it's like,
and then they want to get into it because it's fun. And,
yes.
Oh, that looks easy. Yeah, but
yeah, it's not easy.
No.
That's one thing I want everybody to understand. It's real estate. Being a real estate agent is not easy.
It's a grind. It can be a grind.
Yeah.
Which you work for yourself, and not a lot of people know how to do that. especially if they're coming from another career or a corporate job or whatever it is, you have to know really how to push yourself and be disciplined. And
Yes.
it can be really hard.
Pushing yourself can be a real struggle.
Yeah.
There are people who just can't. They need somebody to tell them what to do.
Right.
I see that in mortgages. Well, I had a big team at one time, and it's like, if you didn't tell them what to do, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
They weren't motivated.
You got to be self-disciplined for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But it really helps. And I think the positive of real estate is your time isn't your own, but you have some freedom.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You have the control to make your schedule what you want it. So especially though when you're new, you might have to bend a little bit when you're first getting your feet wet and trying to get clients. But yeah, you have to be self-disciplined for sure and know how to push yourself and hustle, especially when you're newer. And then eventually the clients, the source of your clients sort of changes. Like, the more longer you're in it, the more you're getting referrals from past clients and things like that. But yeah, you got to hustle when you're brand new.
So you mentioned about getting the referrals later on. So do you do a certain follow-up or anything to keep in touch with these people since you've been in the industry for so long?
Yes, of course. We do a lot of client events throughout the year. We do one huge client appreciation event every summer right around 4th of July. And then we do little things throughout the year. Sometimes we will invite a smaller pool of clients to like a game night and like, hey, we'll have some wine and snacks and we'll just hang out and play games. So we like to do a little bit more intimate client events like that. And then, the drip campaign, the emails go out with information we think is valuable for them to know and all that kind of stuff. So,
and I think people need to understand the reason you do that is obviously it helps you keep in touch, but it's also a benefit to your clients.
Oh yeah. I'm always thinking what's valuable to them. What information do they need to know? What do I think they need to know about the market or whatever it is? So yeah, it's always just providing value.
You mean you're not bothering them?
No one has told me yet that I've been bothering them, so knock on wood.
Yeah, but isn't that the thing? People, that's what you've said a couple times, and I think it is.
People think, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a buyer's agent a long time ago. She didn't want to send mailers. She didn't want to bother people. But then she was meeting with I think it was a Zillow lead, and for the first time, and she was at the house with them just chatting, and she said, do you have a real estate? Are you working with someone or do you have one? And they said something like, well, we haven't really been loyal to them, but they've been loyal to us. They've kept us on their mailing list. And so that was a light bulb for her. I was thinking, okay, they think they value that. They think that their agent's being loyal by keeping them on their mailing list and sending them information that they want to know. So that was sort of a light bulb moment for her, I think. Yeah. And it was interesting.
The statistics are very obvious when you look at them. If you keep in touch, you get more referrals and you get repeat business.
Yeah.
Because people, as much as we are, when we close, it's so everybody's happy and everybody loves each other, and not all the time, but most of the time, right?
Yep.
Everybody's just really happy and it goes well, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll tell everybody about you. And 2 years later, they use somebody else because they forgot you.
Yeah. They forget. Yeah. People have lives. They go on with their lives after the closing, and and if you're not reaching out, they're going to forget. So It's just about being top of mind. And if someone does come up and say, I need to buy a house. Oh, you need to call so-and-so. You need to call Christie.
Yes.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Well, the other nice thing, and a lot of people don't really think about it until after you purchase a home, it's, let's say my water heater goes out. If I call my real estate agent, if I call you right now, Christie, could you give me a couple of referrals I could get a water heater?
100%, yeah.
Easily. Right. So it's not just about selling the home, but if I can help you take care of your home later, something's going to happen. Let's be honest. Yeah. It's just like a car. Yep. Something's going to break. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, guess what? I know the right person to contact.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to be that resource for them, 100%. Yeah.
And if it comes from the real estate agent, yes, it's golden. And those people are going to take care of you because they get a lot of referrals from that real estate agent and probably from other agents that, there's a lot of agents doing that. And so it's extremely valuable referral.
Yes.
Whenever I need somebody now, if I have a lot of sphere of influence, but if I don't, I call one of the people who've been on the show and say, hey, who would I have?
Right. Yeah.
Who do you use? Because you call somebody that they don't know you, first of all, if they call you back, you're lucky.
Right.
But if you refer them to me and I call and I say you referred them, they're going to call me back.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Or I'm going to call you and say, hey, they won't even call me back, and they probably won't be referred again. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really important. So what would you say, or how would you describe your brand?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say we are very resourceful, like we were just talking about, professional, but also we like to have fun. Like we, throughout my whole career, I haven't felt like this is my business over here and then this is my life. It's very much flows like together. So yeah, I would say my brand is just, being a good resource, being professional, being there for my clients, and making friendships along the way. And everything sort of starts intertwining. Neighbors are friends, neighbors become clients, and then we help their family members. So, yeah.
Well, they got to be friends. You can't walk through their house if you don't make friends with them.
So what she's really saying is her company's golden.
Yes.
Oh, top notch.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. And she thought she was a PR.
Yeah.
She still thinks she is. She doesn't think you are.
And speaking of what we were just talking about, we did create the gold list of all of our recommended vendors that we've been sending out to all of our clients and past clients here recently. So I made that earlier this year, and we've been sending that out throughout the year, and that's really helpful for people to have just a go-to list of contacts for
that's awesome.
Anything they might need.
So if somebody wants to get on your list and get these emails, get this communication that you have, how would they get a hold of you?
So people can get a hold of me on my cell, 317-902-2989. Again, that's 317-902-2989. Call or text is probably fastest. I'm also on Instagram at Snapp Sells Real Estate. And I can throw my email in there too, christie.snapp@gmail.com. Christie spelled CHRISTIE.
And if somebody maybe there's an agent listening and they're thinking, wow, I really like her. I think I'd like to be on her team. Can they call or text you also?
I'm always open to chatting with realtors who are possibly interested in the team. Yeah. 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And to get a hold of Ian or I, you can go to hardworkingmortgageguys.com. That's hardworkingmortgageguys.com. You can call 317-672-1938. That's 317-672-1938. And follow us for more Indy's Real Estate Gurus.
And a reminder, if you have any friends, family, or coworkers looking to buy, sell, refinance, let us know. We'd be more than happy to help you. Christie, thank you for joining us on our show.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Ripma's NMLS number 664589. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.